Twin Valley, Chill Howie, Holston 4-0, Patrick Henry 3-1, Cassius Harris with 20 receptions in one game for Tazewell, and a loss to Riverheads. You're listening to After the Whistle, episode 4.5. I'm your host, Brian Moore, along with Mr. Greg Tester, who has been AWOL for the last few weeks, and inconspicuously absent Mr. Tom Crigger. Where have you been?
Man, there's a lot of things going on right now. Got been quarantined. Well, not me specifically, but I think Wise, our football team, was quarantined during our open week. We came back yesterday, but had Little League football games, had varsity practices. Ain't been able to make it meet, but
other obligations.
But yeah, so we fired Tommy Crigger, and I came back home.
Well, Crigger had to make a trip to Sin City.
Yep.
And he's headed to Vegas, and I guess some things take priority over other things. He's not be here with us today. That means no stump to Craig this week. But other than that, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of games. First of all, big news, Twin Valley, Holston, and Chill Howie, all three still 4-0, undefeated so far at this point juncture in the season. And that's a big deal for Twin Valley, first time in school history. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, but let's get straight to last week's recap and look at some of these scores that we had. And with all this COVID stuff going on, it's kind of difficult to keep up with when people are playing and when those games are in, but we've got several scores to go over. At least we got these for you. First one we'll talk about is Hurley picking up their first win of the season, 34-14 over Rye Cove. Coach, you was at that game. Tell us a little bit about it.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, both teams come out. It was pretty even first quarter, second quarter. I think it was 8-6, but I think it was 8-6, maybe going into halftime. Hurley and defensive struggle, but second half offensively, Hurley came out, got it going on the ground with Peyton Hurley. She had a big game, had about 100 yards rushing, punt return for a TD, and kind of opened the game up. And actually, Hurley looked a lot better offensively than they have in the past, and defensively also. Rye Cove, hats off to them. They kept fighting, man. I think they brought 15 players to the cliff, and that was tough, man. And like I said, just hats off to those guys for kept fighting, and congratulations to Hurley on the win.
All right, Hurley picks up the first win of the season. Riverheads 56, Tazewell 19. The big stat coming out of that game was Cassius Harris with 20 receptions. It's a school record. And also, according to the VHSL online record book, it is a tie for the most receptions in a game by one receiver. Unfortunately for Tazewell, they got beat 56-19. Riverhead's 41 straight wins now.
That score and them stats kind of contradict, man. Riverheads is a team that's going to keep the ball and score 56. They scored 56 points. I'm just wondering how Tazewell had that much time to get 20 receptions.
That's true.
Unless they're breaking every play they run. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I tell you what, moving forward, Tazewell, they may have already been aware of this, but complete 20 receptions against to one player against a quality opponent like Riverheads. Bulldogs may have more of a passing game than what maybe they thought.
Absolutely, man. Riverheads is well coached, and they get after you, but that's impressive also.
Yeah, 41 wins in a row is impressive too.
Absolutely.
Twin Springs, first time in 33 years, picks up a win over J.I. Burton, 38-12. I don't know if you heard anything about this or not. Don't know a whole lot about the game. I know that the folks in Nicholsville are pretty excited.
Yeah, I don't want to take anything away from those guys. I heard a lot of things. I heard some players might be quarantined, but man, it is what it is. Congrats to Twin Springs on the victory and Coach Warner, and a great win by them. And maybe Norton get it together here.
Yeah, Norton 0-4. That's kind of a shocker for me. But then again, in the era of COVID, you never know what's going to happen. Abingdon, big win over Tennessee High, 34-14. It was the Falcons' homecoming. Bishop Cook and Malik Hounsell had combined between the two of them 337 yards of offense. Abingdon picking up a big win there. Next one, big game in the BDD. Honaker Grundy 28.
Is it 34, 28?
Well, I thought it was 34. The report I first seen said 34, but then the last one I got in the newspaper said 38. So,
okay.
But it may have been 34.
All right.
Doug Hubbard now 3-1, and really, I mean,
in the driver's seat.
yeah, they're in the driver's seat because they've already won that first BDD game. That doesn't mean everybody's out of it, but Grundy's now going to have somebody beat Honaker. Ian Scammell, typical Grundy night, 244 yards rushing for Grundy in the loss, and then Aiden Lowe came up with 93 yards rushing for Honaker. Probably the big telling stat in the game was Sean Gill was 9 of 14 for 164 yards passing for Honaker, and even in the newspaper, Coach Plymouth mentioned something about some blown coverages, and evidently Honaker caught him a few times off guard there.
Yeah, Coach Hubbard, it's his last hoorah. He's going to be well prepared for this. And this was probably his BDD title game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's probably, he prepared. And like I said, if you can throw the ball, man, you can cause some people some problems. And usually Homemaker's usually two-dimensional, in both. And sounds like they snuck up on Grundy.
Well, I had a feeling that this game was going to be pretty tight, but with Honaker, I think he had 8 players out the week before, and against Eastside with COVID, and those players didn't get to come back till the last minute.
Right.
I expected Grundy to win, but I thought it would be tight games. But like you said, Coach Hubbard does an excellent job of preparing. I can attest to that. I was over there with him for 4 years, and they do a very extensive amount of planning for each opponent, and I think it showed Friday night.
Hats off to Ian Scammell, 244 yards. That's still.
Yeah, that's impressive.
That's impressive in the loss.
Holston improves to 4-0 with a 28-12 win against Eastside. Chris Akers, new coach over there at Holston, continuing the winning ways from the Cavaliers who won the region last year. Ethan Hill, bright spot for Eastside, had 111 yards rushing in the loss. So Holston, another one of those undefeated teams here in Southwest Virginia. Next, another undefeated team.
Chilhowie and Lebanon, right?
Chilhowie 24, 11-7.
Man, Chilhowie always going to be here for a while in the single A.
Yeah, they're back in. They fell
not
off
as good, but
a little bit. But they're not as good as they were 3-4 years ago. But they're on the rise again. Chase Lewis had 85 yards on 15 carries and 2 touchdowns for the Warriors. Lebanon, unfortunately, dropped to 0-4 with the loss. Lebanon's struggled since dropping down to 1A, but I think it's due to youth, best I understand. So I'm hoping that those kids, they're going to get baptized by fire this year, but might be a little bit more prepared and ready come next season. All right, up next we had Patrick Henry, 53, John Battle, 6. Patrick Henry continues to put massive amounts of points on the board, and they're doing it not passing the ball, they're doing it running the ball.
Yeah, I seen this team scrimmage, Ridgeview, and I was really impressed with him. Seth Badgett over there doing a good job, man. It's kind of looks like a single wing type of deal, direct snap stuff, misdirection. Got a really good group of running backs, and our offensive line looks pretty big, so they got a good ingredient there.
Well, McLovin, as Coach Crigger calls him, McPhail had a brilliant, I call him Mick Succeed, but he had touchdown runs of 2, 7, and 1, and he even ran a punt back 50-some yards for a touchdown. So PH has got him a gamer in that guy, and his name keeps popping up, and he may be one of those Player of the Year type candidates later on down the line. John Battle, Braxton Emerson had their lone score for them. John Battle continues to struggle this year as well. And I think numbers and COVID probably is having the impact on them. Next one, this is some of your teams over there in Mountain 7. Union and Gate City. Union 54, Gate City 13. What about that?
Man, Union still keep on keeping on. They're going to be tough to beat, scoring a lot of points. And I actually wasn't here last week, but I watched the game against Graham at Mitchell Stadium. I turned it on the TV over in FHS there. And they had chances. They had so many chances to win that game. So both of those teams are really good. And like I said, it's going to take somebody pretty good to knock Union off.
Now Union, that's like I said, the only loss they have, 3-1 is that
Not
Graham.
saying they can't.
Yeah.
But
Gate City falls to 1-3. Malachi Jenkins and the Children of the Corn. Xavier Lomax scored 3 touchdowns apiece for Union, so that's a pretty lethal combination.
I was really impressed with Lomax running the football. He is running physical, he's running hard, and at one point there he was shredding Grant's defense. He was running hard. So, and he's not the only one. They got the Jenkins playmaker and the quarterback, man. I think the Bunch kid, when he came out for him, he's made a difference for him because he's got the ability to break the big run too. He's a big strider, man. He can break the big run, and he's throwing the ball well.
They got the more weapons you have, the harder it is to prepare for you. So, Union back on track on the winning side of the column there. Ridgeview 51, Lee 7. Ridgeview has got a really bright candidate for possibly Player of the Year, if not this year, in the future. Over there in that quarterback that they've got.
Quarterback is really good, especially for a freshman.
An Oakland kid.
Yeah.
Now, in addition to that, Ridgeview, Canaan Hill rushed for 80 yards on just 6 carries and scored twice for the Wolfpack. Lehigh continues to struggle. Grayson and Marion, this is probably one of the better games of the night. I followed this one all night long on Twitter, back and forth, and tried to keep up with it. Then want to try to catch it actually and watch some of it maybe when I get home later this evening. Grayson 15, Marion 9. There was a little bit of a backstory in this ball game a lot of people weren't aware of. Head coach Stephen James for Grayson County was formerly defensive coordinator at Marion High School under Stephen Wright, so he was coming back and playing them. But what was interesting about it was Coach Timmy Smith there at Marion played outside linebacker for Coach James. So that was and Marion was game.
I thought Josh Wingate was head coach at Grayson County.
No.
Am I wrong? What's up, Coach? How are you? Good.
So
Riverview Raiders.
Yeah. So anyhow, Marion gets the loss. They came out 9-0 at halftime. Unfortunately for them, they were Grayson County able to put it together in the second half. And I actually think teammate of Coach Smith, who was also on that Marion team, Marshall Doss, is now the defensive coordinator there at Grayson County.
Oh, okay.
So, by the way, Grayson County's looking for another game. They've lost a game somewhere along the line due to COVID. So if anybody has a game, contact the folks at Grayson. They're looking to pick up one more. So Grayson with a big win, 15-9 over Marion. All right, next we had Castlewood 33, Rycove 12. This was all about Landon Taylor, who had 193 yards rushing, scored 3 touchdowns in the win. He also had 20 receiving yards, and Castlewood improved to 1-3 with the win. Slade Castle added 2 touchdowns for the Blue Devils as well. Rycove only had 101 yards of offense, but you was talking about Rycove, of course.
Yeah, they played Hurley last night. I'm good right now.
In the game last night, Hurley was able to just, I ain't going to say have their way with them, but Hurley did a pretty good job with them. And Rycove just wasn't able to muster up any offense against them. So Rycove suffered two losses back-to-back pretty quick there within a 7-day period. Within the confines of the 7 days, about 5 days, I think it was. Graham 28, Galax nothing. This one started out a little bit tighter than what people thought. Well, I thought this game would be tight. I thought Galax would play them really good. And when I seen the 7-0 halftime score, I was taken back a little bit by it. I thought it would be 14-6, something like that. But Graham came out in the second half and really got their offense clicking and came out and was able to turn up the heat a little bit, put some points on the board, force Galax to do some things they didn't want to do, and they managed to dominate the second half and win 28-0.
Too many weapons, man.
Yeah, just too many weapons.
Bradshaw, quarterback, Blevins.
Probably came down to the fact that Galax was very well prepared. They were playing a team that had multiple weapons, and they gave them their best shot for a half, but eventually what's going to happen? Right. Eventually one of those kids is going to break, and that's what happened. Tydrez Clements had 129 yards rushing for the G-men. Perry McClure 28, Rural Retreat 16. Rural Retreat couldn't overcome 5 turnovers. This was a win that they would have really liked to have picked up, but the 5 turnovers left them in a pretty vulnerable position. This is the first time these two teams have played, first time the Rural Retreat, has played since September the 2nd due to all of these COVID mitigations and stuff. Tug Valley defeated Hurley. We didn't talk about this one. I didn't mention it last week.
They played 2 games in 3 days.
4 days. 4 days. Two games in 4 days. The most recent was the win, of course, but they went to West Virginia, and Tug Valley defeated Hurley 46-12. Hurley's only touchdown came by Alex Duty. He got a 38-yard score in the second quarter. Another big game, Twin Valley defeated Craig County 40-16. It's the first time in 21 years that Twin Valley has been 4-0 at this point in the season. And
you mean you or Tommy Crigger couldn't get them there?
Couldn't get them there. We were close. We got close one time. I was 3 yards close at Grundy making it happen, but it didn't happen. Matthew Lester, we'll talk about him a little bit later on in the show. Matthew Lester and Jacob Cooper each had 2 touchdowns for the Panthers. And Twin Valley remains undefeated, as we said before. Lester, 143 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns on 8 carries. It was a typical game. I don't think Twin Valley played as sluggish as they did against Northwood, and played a little bit better, a little bit more balanced attack. Right. Notable, Chris Jackson, I think, had about 6 carries for 104 yards rushing. And Chris is he's really small in stature, but he's stepped up and really been playing well for the Panthers the last couple of games. All right, I think we got one more, Thomas Walker and Claiborne County. Thomas Walker 36, Claiborne County 6. Zach Kidwell had a big night as Thomas Walker managed to win the 3rd game in 8 days, which is very impressive. So hats off to them. Elijah Harbor added a touchdown run for them, and they are now 3-2 after starting the season out 0-2. So congratulations to Tom Walker. All right, well, that's a big recap. A whole lot of games to talk about, but when we don't have Big Mouth here with us, we can get through this stuff and get more detailed in.
Sorry, guys. I mean, everybody can't replace Crigger.
It is what it is. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this with our Peak Performer of the Week.
Hi, I'm Melinda Crigger with True Point Bank. Cheering on local teams is a community tradition at True Point Bank. We are a local bank supporting our local schools, charities, and people. If you aren't banking locally, it's time to make the switch. Stop by one of our offices or visit us online at truepointbank.com. This football season, have pride in our local teams and bank local with True Point Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, welcome back to the show. It's now time for our Peak Performer of the Week. This week's Peak Performer of the Week is Cassius Harris, who had 20 receptions for the Tazewell Bulldogs in a loss to Riverheads, tying a VHSL state record and breaking the school record. Cassius Harris, our True Point Bank Peak Performer of the Week for this week. Next, we got Big Talk, brought to you by Southern Gap Outdoor Adventures. And our Big Talk segment this week, another tragic coaching loss. Johnson Central, those of you familiar with Paintsville area in Kentucky, football and wrestling coach and just legendary coach Jim Matney recently passed away after spending 3 weeks in the ICU. Coach Matney was a legend.
Icon down there.
Yeah, icon in that area. How many state titles?
I know he's been there 5. I think he's won 2 or 3 of them. So I know he won it in 19. So he won it in 19, and I think he won 2 more.
Well, he had a way of getting kids to play, and just to give you an example of the type of coach he was, we're going to show you a couple clips here of some speeches that Coach gave. So let's go take a look at that real quick.
On the bowling green, right? All right, I'm going to say one other thing. Don't you ever doubt in your life But you don't control this world. Jim Matney don't control this world. Nor anybody else that you know controls this world, but God controls this world. Every good thing comes from God. Amen. It's been a long road. There's been daggone tornadoes, flew right over our house, didn't they, James Duke? We were all hunkered down. And I thought, what in the world is a tornado flying over Hager Hill for? Then there came the ice storm. Every tree in my yard, just about. Why in the world is there an ice storm in Johnson County? Then there came a flood, right, Connor Ratliff? We said, Lord, why was there a flood? But he sent a rainbow. And we was on our burned football field, and a rainbow went over our field and ended on our field. I saw it. Did you guys see it? Somebody's got a picture of it. At the end of everything, if you keep the faith. At the end of every tragedy, if you keep the faith. There's a rainbow. We know who's in charge of this world, and we're very appreciative that he gave us some smarts, some athletic ability, some muscle, and some guts, right? Every single kid on this team came up big tonight. This was a team win.
All right, so there you have it. Coach Jim Matney unfortunately passed away from Johnson Central. Our thoughts and prayers go out to him, his family, and the entire Johnson Central community.
Man, you know, I was just talking about them speeches and stuff he had. I was listening to some of them the other night, some people posted, and give me chill bumps.
Oh, yeah.
Just listening to his message, and wow, he was motivated.
He was motivated, absolutely. Going to be missed by him, and he left a lasting impact on a lot of people. All right, up next is our BELLACINO'S Player of the Week. And BELLACINO'S Player of the Week this week is from Twin Valley High School, Mr. Matthew Lester. And let's take a look at Matthew.
Hey, I'll get them out of here.
Hey guys, we're here with Mr. Matt Lester from Twin Valley High School. He is our Player of the Week this week. Twin Valley had a big win over Crigger County, 40-16, and he was a big part of that. Had 143 yards rushing on 8 carries, and Twin Valley 2 touchdowns. And Twin Valley goes to 4-0 for the season for the first time in school history, and this guy sitting right here is a big reason for that. And man, just tell us a little bit, you know, about the game and what it's like right now at Twin Valley, you know, being the first team to be at 4-0 right now, and what's going on down there right now.
After Friday, we realized that we made history.
Right.
Everybody on the field was excited and jumping around. Even the coaches were happy about it. Just watching us be excited.
Absolutely, man. You know, and you know, it's hard for a small school anyway. And you know, with a school like Twin Valley's numbers be 4-0, man. That's an awesome deal.
The whole school in general, every student is happy about it, and almost everybody in Twin Valley is just excited that we did something never done before.
Absolutely, man. Well, anyway, congratulations on being our BELLACINO'S Player of the Week. We wish y'all luck, and you guys keep it rolling and finish out the season strong. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
All right, congratulations, Matthew Lester. 143 yards rushing on 8 carries, 2 touchdowns, leading Twin Valley to the first ever 4-0 record in school history. All right, Coach, it's time for our top 5. Are you ready? You haven't been around a long time the last few weeks to see what's going on, so this is going to be a little bit of a maybe a swing for you. I'll start with mine anyhow. 1A. In 1A, I had some changes in mine. Probably the most movement I've had in 1A since we've been doing this. Number 5, I have Grundy slipping in at number 5. Started to put Honaker there. I still want Honaker to get another win. Yeah, I know Honaker beat Grundy, but I still think right now that Grundy has a little bit better chances of getting revenge on Honaker if it happens. So I'm going to go with Grundy at number 5. I've got PH at number 4. They're scoring 50, 60 points a game. Twin Valley, surprisingly, number 3 on my list here, now sitting at 4-0, and a chance to go 5-0 this Friday. Number 2, I have Holston. who's also 4-0. And at number 1, I have Chill Howie, who is 4-0. What about your 1A?
All righty, here, let me see. I've been off so long, I about forgot what teams are 1A. So, all right, my top 5 in 1A. Coming in at number 5, I'm going with Doug Hubbard and the upsetting Honaker Tigers at number 5. At number 4, depending on how they finish, they're 4-0 right now. I'm going with the Twin Valley Panthers at number 4. And number 3, I am going with the hosting Cavaliers at number 3. At number 2, I am going with the Chilhowee Warriors at number 2. And my number 1 is Mr. Seth Pageant's Patrick Henry Rebels at number 1.
All right.
Now.
So that's a big jump. All right, moving PH to number 1. They're putting a little bit of pressure on them. All right, my 5 with Grundy and Honaker. Even though Honaker beat them, I had a hard time with that, but I went ahead and stuck with Grundy. I'm gonna give them one more week to show me something. 2A top 5. I got Wise Central coming in at number 5. Number 4, new to my 2A list, is Virginia High Bearcats, baby. Number 3, Ridgeview Wolfpack. Number 2, I've got the Union Bears. And number 1, I got the Graham G-Men.
Where's mine at?
It's blank down there if you look.
No, I mean right here.
Oh, okay.
All right. Me and you differ right here. Number 5, I got the Virginia High Bearcats coming in at number 5.
Yeah, a little bit of favoritism.
Nah, we should have played that game. We'll be talking about it. Number 4 is the Wise Central Warriors coming in at number 4. Number 3 is the Wolfpack. I hate to say that. Number 3 is the Wolfpack. I've read you. Yeah, that's right. The Wolfpack. Number 2 is the Union Bears. Travis, what y'all call him? Teabag.
Turner's tea. Too
I
sweet.
Travis Teabag. Travis Teabag. All right, and number 1 is Tony Palmer's Graham G-Men. To beat them, to be the man, you gotta beat the man.
That's true. I see those two coming back and playing again, Union Graham, and I tell you what, I can see PH Chilhowee been in.
What are you saying? You ain't gonna see Wise come back and play again?
Well, they might be.
Hold on.
They might be.
Let's cut it clear. You're saying Wise ain't gonna be in the mix in the top 2. So we're gonna rewind this here in a couple weeks. So
we're gonna play it back. Maybe
we're gonna play it back. So
I promise you, if I get it wrong, I won't miss 3 weeks.
Go ahead and say Wise. I want you.
I won't miss 3 weeks licking my wounds.
I want you to say Wise is not going to be in the top 5 or in the region mix up. In the region mix.
Oh yeah, I think they'll be in the mix. You talking about like top 2?
Top 2, yeah.
No, they won't be in the top 2. All right. So you can take that to the bank right there. All right, put that on there. I mean, it'd be nice if they were, but I gotta be honest. All right, that rounds out our top 5. Of course, this week.
Good morning, America. I'm Charles.
That is the World Trade Center, and we have unconfirmed reports this morning that a plane has crashed into one of the towers of the World Trade Center.
There is a major incident in Lower Manhattan.
We just got a report in that there's been some sort of explosion at...
Good evening, and we begin tonight with the monster hurricane and its deadly impact already. And tonight, up and down the East Coast, authorities...
All right, we got our bonus pick for this week. Big time game, Wise and Abingdon.
I mean, y'all didn't forget this one this
No,
week?
we didn't forget it this week.
It's getting worse as it goes.
Now, who's Wise, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, we didn't forget. Let's play in Abingdon. How could we?
Yeah, exactly. So, who you got?
I'm going to go with Abingdon in this one here, boys. I think Abingdon's been playing the right competition and moving in the right direction.
Well, I got to say, they're tough. It's a tough opponent for us. Just by watching one film against Christiansburg, Tennessee High, they got two really good running backs. Their offensive line is humongous. They move people. They got a really good receiver out there in McClanahan that you can't just sell on this run, because they're really well balanced, and we got to play a really good game to beat them, which I think is very possible. So they played Christiansburg about the same way we did. I think it was really close. We both lost close games to Christiansburg, so I think it's a good matchup. So I think it'll be a really good game. But I'm gonna go with the Warriors in the upset here down in Abingdon.
Is Abingdon more of a pass-oriented team or run-oriented, or they kind of balance it up pretty good?
They're balanced. They're more run. They run, play action, play action. And they throw it too, so they're pretty well balanced. But
that Christiansburg just beat them right at the end of the game, and you guys just dropped lost 28-20.
Yeah.
And you gave up a touchdown to get the ball back.
Right. So
we're talking about a 1-point game.
Right. So either way you look at it, but like I said, we got to be prepared and ready for a slugfest, because they got some big physical kids, and we just got to go down there and play our game.
Well, this is our bonus pick of the week. This is probably the one game, if you want to go anywhere in Southwest Virginia and watch it, this is the one game you want to go watch, and that's Abingdon. Wise at Abingdon, right? Wise at Abingdon. And once again, you got the Warriors, I got the Falcons. We'll see what happens. Let's take a look at our pigskin prognostications and pick the rest of the games for this week. Of course, this week we don't have to stump the Crig, but instead of stumping the Crig, got a little joke for you here. I used to do tours, guided tours for a tourism company, and one time we had we took a group of people to Paris, France, and it was everybody on the trip was cross-eyed. I don't know if it's some kind of club or what, but it was a cross-eyed bunch. So anyhow, we were going through the city of Paris, and I remember telling this group, you got to keep in mind they're all cross-eyed. And I remember we got down to the Eiffel Tower, and I told them the Eiffel Tower is, if you will look to your right, you'll see the Eiffel Tower on your left.
Look to your right.
They're cross-eyed. That's a bad joke. It's supposed to be bad. All right, let's take a look at our pigskin prognostications. All right. By the way, that top 5 is brought to you by the Patriot Outpost. Check out patriotoutpost.net. Okay, some games coming up this week. Floyd County at Carroll County. Just give me a winner.
Carroll County. I don't know nothing about it.
I'm going to go with Floyd on this one. Seems like they've been winning some of these closer games, so I'm going to take Floyd.
I'll go with Carroll.
Okay. Allegheny at Radford. Radford's got their first loss now. It was a good one, too.
Yeah, Christiansburg beat them down, right?
Yeah, beat them down.
So I'm going to go with Allegheny.
I'm going to take Radford in this. I think Coach Chris, the game gets back on track. Never can tell. Gate City at Lebanon.
Gate City.
That's going to be, I was going to say it's going to be a good one, but no, I think Gate City will show superior. I'm going to go 26-0 on this. Gate City, okay, yeah, you pick Gate City. Lee at Rye-Cody. It's going to be a doozy right here.
I got to go with Lehigh on this.
Yeah, I think
they got a lot more numbers than Rye-Cody.
I think the war of attrition, Lehigh's got probably a little bit more numbers as well, and I think the teams they've played, if they're not beat to death, they're going to be well prepared.
They say that
so I'm going to go with
Coach
Lee.
Carl's doing a good, that they're getting better.
Yeah.
Lehigh,
It's a process.
So, yeah.
It's not something that's going to happen overnight. Ridgeview at Richlands.
I'm going with a Mountain 7, baby.
Well, here's the thing. This game, it's not so much to me about who's going to win. It's whether or not Richlands is going to score.
Yeah.
Richland's been blanked the last 2 games, and Ridgeview's got a pretty tough defense.
They do.
I'm going to go with Ridgeview as well. But
I'm going to go with Ridgeview on this. That quarterback's tough. They got some good receivers. Not saying Richland's got the Webb kid, and I just think Ridgeview's got a little bit more than what Richland's got.
I do think Richland's a scorer. I think this ball game is going to be tight at half, and Ridgeview will pull away. Virginia High at Spotswood. This is an interesting matchup here.
I don't know.
I got a feeling this is one of those COVID replacement games. Know nothing about Spotswood.
Since I know nothing about them, I'm going with Virginia High.
I'll go with Virginia High as well, since I don't know anything about them. Union at Thomas Walker.
Union at Thomas Walker. Let me think on this one. Hold on. You say the Union at Thomas Walker?
Yes, Union at Tom Walker.
Man, what are they doing playing? Are they getting paid?
It's at Tom Walker. It's going to be a good gate.
Is Travis paying them to let them come to Thomas Walker?
Yeah, probably.
Man, I got to go with the Union.
I got to go with Union.
No pun intended.
Yeah, hey, Tom Walker's won 3 in a row in 8 days, and then they're going to have to turn around and play Union.
Yeah.
Hey, you 3 out of 4, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Union as well. Grundy at Tazewell. After Cassius, I'll pick. After Cassius caught them 20 receptions the other day, I'm going with the Bulldogs in this one.
Man, I like Grundy lining up and running the football down Tazewell's throat.
Well, I do too. I
don't know if they can keep match for match.
That's what I'm thinking.
Tazewell's got a few more athletes than Grundy's got. This is a tough one. I don't think Tazewell can stop Grundy's run, but I think Tazewell can score too many for him. So I think Tazewell wins in a shootout.
Okay, I agree with you on that. I think it comes down to it. If Tazewell gets on Grundy, if Grundy wants to stick that running game, it's going to be hard for Grundy to come back.
Yeah.
But if Grundy can get Tazewell behind the 8 ball, they can eat up a lot of clock. But I'm going to go with Tazewell as well. Bland at Castlewood. The Mustard Biscuit Brigade will be hosting the Bland County Bears. This will be worth the price of admission. Bland's won 2 games already.
Who'd they beat?
That is, I can't tell you.
I'm going to go with Bland on this one.
I believe they beat Rock Cove, I think it was.
No, I'm changing. I'm going with Castlewood. It's at the Wood.
It's at the Wood.
I'm going to go with Castlewood.
This is a tough one here. I think Landon Taylor.
Yeah.
I think he'll run wild on Bland. I'm gonna go with Castlewood in this one. Auburn at Fort Chisholm.
I will go. I got a first cousin plays for Auburn, and their numbers are really bad, and they're struggling right now. I'm gonna go with Ford on this.
I'll take Ford as well. Auburn, if I'm not mistaken, I'd be afraid to say it. I don't even want to say it. I can't remember who they recently lost to. Nars at Holston. This could be a really good game right here. Nars at Holston.
Nars at Holston. Woo. Man, what's Nars for?
Not sure, but now I know Chilhowie got him by about. Chilhowie trailed early and came back and ended up beating him by about 10, I think.
It's at Holston. I'm going to go with Holston in a close one.
I'm going to take Holston as well, and I think this will be a really close game. This will be a good one. Holston could improve to 5-0 if they pick up the win. Honeacre at Chilhowie. This could be a good football game. 4-0 versus 3-1.
I think Honeacre's going to be in it. I don't know if they can go. Is it at Chilhowie?
Yeah.
I don't think they can pull it out up there. I think Chilhowie's got a little too much fun. I think it's going to be a close one, Chilhowie.
I'm going to pick Chilhowie in this one, but I tell you, if Honeacre gets the win, everything in 1A in this region is turned upside down.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Chilhowie. Twin Springs at Twin Valley. It's homecoming at Twin Valley. They're 4-0, chance to go 5-0. This is a big game for Twin Valley and a big rebound game for Twin Springs, who got their first win against John I. Burton.
This is 33 years. Here.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
I'm going to go with the Panthers at home.
I'm going to take Twin Valley, but they're going to have to hang on to the ball, and when they get inside the red zone, they're going to have to score.
Right.
They can't They can't get down there inside the 5-yard line and come out there with nothing. So they're going to have to really stick it in when the ball gets inside the red zone. But I'm going to go with the Panthers as well. East Side at J.I. Burton.
This is you don't know what to go with. What's going on at Burton, man? Are they quarantined? Are they practicing?
I don't know.
Are they fired? Or
no clue.
East Side at J.I. Burton. I'm gonna go East Side on this.
I'm gonna pick East. Now, 2 weeks ago, I'd pick Burton without even blinking. I'm gonna pick East Side. East Side put a whooping on Honaker. I know Honaker had some players out, but the fact that they played that well against Honaker.
Honaker had 20 out, didn't he?
I have no clue. But I'm going to go with East Side because I think Burton's not playing as well right now. PH at Rural Retreat. About to wrap it up here.
Patrick Henry. Oh, I'm going with Seth Passion, baby, and the Rebels.
Yeah, I am too. I'm going to take PH in this one. The question is, will they score over 50?
No, 45.
45. So Rural Retreat is going to try to hold PH under 50. All right, that includes all the picks that we have, I think, for tonight. Yep, that's all we've got. Do you have anything else?
Ain't got nothing.
All right, until next time, I'm Coach Moore.
Coach Tester.
Reminding you, no matter where you go, there you are.